Hi Aquarius, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. I'm so happy that you found me. This is your mid-March 2017 video. It's a couple of days late. I was traveling with my debate team this past weekend, and honestly, spring, the fall forward daylight savings time stuff, that's the devil. I'm just going to put it out there. So what I'm going to do is pull some cards for you, 6 in total for the tarot and 2 oracle cards. I'll read any other cards that may fall out for y'all as well if that's the case. But deck has been cleansed and cleared as always. And now what I'm doing is shuffling the cards so I can go ahead and start pulling for you, because I did the astrology talk at the beginning of the month. If you want to know what's going on astrologically for you, please go check out that video. This video is focusing more on the cards, but I will speak of the astrology if it does show up in the cards. So, why don't you sit a spell, Aquarius, so we can talk about your cards. Don't forget that we are under the influence of a Venus retrograde. You are now feeling it very strongly in that 3rd house of communication. I suggest you go watch your Venus retrograde videos. I had them linked in the March videos. Hopefully I will do that again at the end of this. We'll see how much time I've got. But I have shuffled and now cut the deck for my Aquarius viewers and friends. Let's go ahead and draw the cards. The bottom card will always be the underlying theme or overarching energy of the spread. The first card, top card of the deck, is the present. Second card represents the past. Third card represents the obstacles. The fourth card represents the possible help. And the fifth card represents the possible outcome. Sorry, I'm still learning how to do this while shooting in a different angle. Okay, second deck from the Divine Circus Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. All right, you had a card fall. You had another card fall. Goodness, Aquarius. You got 2 Divine Circus Oracle deck cards, and now I'm going to pull from the Crystal Mandala Oracle. This is also by Elena Fairchild. Shuffling the deck. Whenever a card pops out of the deck, I do my best to read it. Unless I'm being clumsy like just then, where I dropped about half of the deck of cards. But yeah. When the cards fall, I feel like there's a message being, trying to come forward for you. So I do my best to honor it as such. I also take the cards falling normally as a sign to cut the deck. But because I dropped half the deck, I wanted to get a couple of shuffles in. And now I'm going to cut this Crystal Mandala Oracle deck for y'all and pull your card. And for my new viewers, or those who have never heard me explain it, when you get an extra card, I call it lagniappe, because that's a word that we use here in Louisiana. Lagniappe means a little something extra, so you got a lagniappe card. Alright, there's your Crystal Mandala card. I happened to flip it over and look at it, because I can do that. And, actually, Pisces got the very same card that you got for the Crystal Mandala card. So that should be interesting. There may be some synchronicity between you and the Pisceans. I do know that the Star card fell for the Piscean reading as well. And Star is representative of you, Aquarius. So there may be some synchronicity in those readings for you just off the top. What I'm going to do now is hit the pause button, flip these cards over to the tarot math, and I will be right back with your story. Hang tight, Aquarius. I'll be right back. Hi Aquarius, I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy of your spread was the Knight of Cups card. The Knight of Cups is a message or a messenger that is possibly bringing feelings of love, emotional validation, emotional stability to light. This individual could be somewhere in their 30s, between 30 to 40. I would say no later than 40. If they are not of that age bracket, they act this age. You may be also dealing, this could be the communication between you, because this card also fell for the Pisces. There's some strong links between you and the Pisces reading. When I see the wings, I think of air signs. That's you, Aquarius, but also Gemini and Libra. And the cups represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This could be the communication or the lack of communication between a water sign and air sign, or the idea of emotions versus logic, if you will. You are having Venus retrograde in that third house of communication. The third house is ruled by Gemini. And communication is how you speak, how you interpret others, but also how others interpret you. It's your communication devices and your commute to and from work, the path that you take, and also the vehicle that you use. Venus is a planet that deals with love, beauty, harmony, and money and resources. So you could be dealing with this. Very much to me represents the Venus retrograde that's going on for you right now, with just the house placements and what this card symbolizes and what it's looking like. You could be reflecting on messages of the past or wanting to reach out to someone from your past as well. Could be of the water sign variety because the Knight of Cups is showing up. Now, I don't know why I picked up that card. I'm trying to show my spread and let y'all see the cards. Now, the card that represents the present in the situation is the Four of Wands upright. Pisces got this card as well. But I think this was their underlying theme or overarching energy card. Anyways, the Four represents the Cancer-ruled house of your home and family or your roots and foundations. Home is where you live or where you consider home to be. Family is who you share that home with. That can be your parents, your spouse, your partner, your fur babies, your children, your house guests, housemates, or roommates. Roots and foundations could be internal or external. The internal would be you and your body. So that would be your internal roots and foundations. Roots would be your tightly held opinions, philosophical beliefs, religious beliefs. And the structure is your teeth and your bones. For your house, that could be the structure of your home. That would be the studs, the plumbing, the electrical wiring, or the foundation outside, or the roots in the plants, trees, and flora around your home. This card is indicative of a happy celebration around the home or happiness in the home. I usually see this as like an engagement or marriage type card. I've also seen this as like the Hallmark holiday family picture around the turkey or around the tree for the holidays here in America. So this is just generally a good card, good feelings around that fourth house. The wands represent fire sign energy. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Could be that you're trying to build a home with someone with that type of energy in them. Now the card that represents the past is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a mature water sign energy, someone who is emotionally intelligent, emotionally stable, possibly intuitive, empathic, maybe a little psychic. And this is on the higher vibratory scale. On the lower vibratory scale, this guy is moody and anxious, probably paranoid in some way. I see him as an escapist. Whenever I see the two cups in a character's hands, I see them as double fisting the drinks. Could be that they are having a rough time right now, and alcohol is a way that they are leaning on it. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It can be other escapist measures. Honestly, anything that somebody can be addicted to. That could be drugs, sex, pornography, food, shopping. Just about anything that you could consider an addictive behavior could qualify under this guy, because he's escapist. If he can't deal with his emotions, then he runs from them. And it could be in the past that you are either dealing with a King of Cups or this was your energy around you. The cups represent, once again, water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You may be dealing with thinking about a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces from the past. I want to say Pisces more than anything because I'm seeing fish symbology going on through here. And Venus is going to be retrograding from Aries back into Pisces. Now, the card that represents the obstacle at hand is the the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a mature fire sign energy. The mature fire sign energy would be that of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The obstacle, once again, Venus going retrograde in Aries. I see this as a phallic card as well. Whenever I see court cards with the wand in their hand, it looks phallic. The obstacle could be that you have a really high sex drive, or you're dealing with someone who has a really high sex drive. The fact that the obstacle of the King of Wands looking up to the King of Cups, it could be that you are dealing with issues of inequality or somehow not being on the same page. The King of Wands is a courageous individual. He's brave. He's the fact that he's in the upright is a good thing. You don't want him in the reverse. He is a very nasty dude when he's in the reverse. more so than others, because I see him as, whenever I see the Kings in reverse, I think that they could find a means of violence through whatever energy. And the fire signs are aggressive. So you want him to be as calm as possible. Now, the possible help in the situation is the Ace of Swords. The help in the situation looks like it's going to be new information, a new communication, new idea, maybe an idea that comes out of nowhere. And it could be that you're getting information from one of these kings, either the King of Cups or the King of Wands, because of this crown up here. It could be that they're coming in with some sort of logical argumentation against what has gone on. The swords represent the air signs, and the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and you, Aquarius. Now, the help here is also being willing to defend yourself and your territory in what is going on as well. This Ace of Swords being in the help position, it could be that you just may need to be honest, or someone is coming clean with you. And it could be accidental communication. I mean, the thing about it is with Venus going retrograde in the 3rd house, it could be that you are understanding that you are no longer valuing what you once valued in love or in your communication, whatever it is that's affecting you in that 3rd house. It could be a talk between you and a past lover. It could be a talk between you and a present lover. It could be that you are wanting to reach out and extend the olive branch to someone you may have wronged as well. That could be help in the situation for you, Aquarius. It really just depends on what's going on in your personal world and in your chart. But this Ace of Swords, it's the beginning of the sword suit. It is the beginning of going through, it can feel like divine intervention in many ways. If I were to see this in the reverse, I would say that there would be either miscommunication or deceit going on, but because it's in the upright, the help in the situation for you is to be in your integrity, to maintain your boundaries, and to logically ascertain what is going on for you in the situation at hand, and explain why you act the way that you act to help other people understand as well. Because it seems as though this Knight of Cups is the only one who's being adversely affected by what's going on in this spread right now. So whoever represents this Knight of Cups, 30 to no later than 40 years old of age, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone who has a blend of water and air energies in them, you should really reassess communicating with them and trying your best to get on the same page with them, because this is very much a communication card for me. And you do have that Venus going retrograde in that house of communication. Now, the card that's the possible outcome for you, Aquarius, is the Five of Swords. Understand that this is the Five of Swords. The 5 represents the 5th house on the astrological wheel, which deals with Leo. So the outcome may come to you in the season of Leo. It may be evolving or revolving around a Leo. That 5th house is, it's an interesting house. I like to think of the 5th house as having your DNA and fingerprints all over it, because it's where you have the most skin in the game. But it's also the house of sparks. It's the house of the spark of love, the spark of life, and the spark of creation. That 5th house deals with your pleasure seeking and going out with your friends. It's your social life. It's where you make your babies, but it's also the house of children, and it's the house of your creativity and your creative abilities, your creations. The swords, once again, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It could be that there is an argument or debate about pleasure, social life, social seeking. Could also be a debate about children, or where you spend your money when you are seeking pleasure in some way. It could be that you are, I really feel like you're dealing with a Leo or someone who has some strong Leo energy in them because of one of the oracle cards that fell for you that we'll get to in a minute. Understand that there's silver lining in this situation at hand, not only because of this cloud right here, but also the cloud that comes with the Ace of Swords. There's silver lining in the situation, and you have the tools in your hand to glean that silver lining, but understand it will be a difficult task. You will have to do the hard work to get it. It won't just come out of anywhere for you. This card also indicates a situation where play fighting got too carried away or out of hand and people walked away because their feelings were hurt, or it got too rough, or it could just be that people are sick of the individual in the green and red tunic and they are walking away. Understand they've laid down their arms and they are walking away. It's not just that this individual won. They didn't give a crap about it enough to continue the fight. So this individual won by default. Those other guys are just walking away. They've left their stuff there. They don't even care anymore. They are over it.com. Could be that you're facing someone in a relationship that may be feeling over it. You had a full moon in Virgo in your 8th house, which deals with, that's a very intimate house. It's other people's money. It's the house of sexuality. It's the house of life, death, and rebirth. It's also the house of instincts, your basic, primal, or human instincts. It's the house of metamorphosis, regeneration, and transformation. That house is a very, very, very intimate house that you had that full moon go through just this past weekend, probably dealing with issues of worry, anxiety, and judgment as well. So yeah, that's what's playing out in the tarot spread for you. I did the math in this tarot spread. You had 2 cards that showed up with numbers on them. You had the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Wands. 5 plus 4 is 9, and that is the 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius, that house I like to think of as your worldview expanded through study or travel. It's the house of higher education, long-distance trips, like super long-distance trips. It is the house of foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. It's the house of the study of foreign languages, astrology, philosophy, religion, legal system matters, political system matters. It's a very big house, and it is your worldview expanded through study or travel. Now, Saturn has been making a transit through Sagittarius. Saturn I like to think of as the building code instructor. Wherever Saturn goes, he tests the foundation of the house that he is transiting through. For you, that is the 11th house, and that's the house that Aquarius rules. So you probably are feeling restricted in some way or another dealing with the 11th house endeavors. This can be your friends, groups, memberships, associations, or teams that you belong to. It also deals with your future wishes, goals, and dreams. It could also deal with the internet. You may be having difficulty getting your communication or your ideas out into the larger part of the world. I say the internet, but it's not just that. It's getting your voice, your message out into the world. So you may be feeling misunderstood in your friends or your groups as well. Now, we had the Saturn square Neptune going on between Sagittarius and Pisces. That could have played out for you, and that may be reverberating in your life right now. But you also have Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system that we know of to date. Gas giant moving through your 9th house. Jupiter is the planet that represents expansion, achievement, and excess. That 9th house is experiencing, for better or for worse, growth. Now, if it's good energy that's been in the 9th house, then it will continue to grow and possibly be good. But if it was not so good energy, then you're probably dealing with an abundance of that as well. Once again, that 9th house, long-distance trips, your philosophy could be changing. You could be looking at different religions. You could be looking at going back to school. Or you could be doing a lot of traveling, long-distance wise. Just really depends on what's going on in your world, like I said. Now, moving on, you got 3 oracle cards. The first 2 came from the Divine Circus Oracle by Elena Fairchild. The first card that fell for you is the first card in this deck, and it is meant for you. Quite literally. It reads, "What you want has been summoned forth and is now headed your way. So be willing to receive it and don't let it pass you by. Understand that what is rightfully yours or will be right in front of you. Also, recognize that opportunity is the universe's way of showing belief in you and your abilities. So if you are dealing with an abundance of opportunity, the universe is begging you to take a chance, take a step, move to make some growth. Because if you do not make that choice, the universe will make it for you. Don't worry if you feel as though you are being led down a different path than you anticipated or that you planned on. Because here's the secret. All paths lead us to exactly where we are supposed to be and where we are needed and where we need to be at exactly the right time. Trust in what is happening. Now, say thank you, universe. I accept. The number 1 card deals with the house, or the first house on the astrological wheel. That house is ruled by Aries. You've heard a lot of me speaking about Aries, but this Venus retrograde, it comes around about once every 2.5 years to help us reassess the things that we love, that we cherish, that we value, that we want near to us. It also gives us an opportunity to reassess our relationships and how we deal with money. The first house on the astrological wheel governs your personality, your physical body, and your appearance. I like to think of the first house as the physical embodiment of who you are and how the world sees you. The second divine circus oracle card that fell for you is the 10th card, which is Ra, 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 like the sun god Ra from Egypt. You aren't having any direct 10th house astrological energy, but the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. I like to think of that 10th house as, or through the lens of William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare said, all the world is a stage, and I like to think of the 10th house as the stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you. It's through your career, your status, and your reputation, dealings with authority figures in your world, in your life, and in their expertise, so professionals. But also, the 10th house is a very destined house. Once again, ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is going through a Pluto transit right now, and that happens to be your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of your limitations, repression, your karma, your self-undoing, and your secret enemies. It is the house of secrets, and it is the house of dreams. It is the hardest house on the astrological wheel to see. It could be that there needs to be some enlightenment or some light put on that 12th house for you where that Pluto transit is occurring. Could be that you need to see how much growth you've gone through and how much there still needs to be done. Now this 10th card, or the 10, this card indicates that it takes so much courage for you to leave darkness behind and to embrace the light. It asks that you must give up your attachment to the drama and the stories of suffering and the pains of your past. Aquarius, recognize that your dark days are numbered. Be willing to adopt this mindset, and it could help you a lot. Today, I choose to trust that everything is going to work out to a higher plan, which unconditionally loves and leads to my highest and best interests. Trust that the light is within you and trust in that light. And then don't be afraid to shine brightly for others to see you. The sun right now is in your 2nd house, Aquarius. The 2nd house is focusing on your money, possessions, earning ability, and self-esteem. And it will move into the 3rd house where those communication issues will be occurring for you throughout the rest of the month. There may be some illumination on communication past as well. Forewarned is forearmed, and I believe knowledge is power, and I'm doing my best to empower you with the knowledge that I am seeing play out in these cards, in the synchronicity of the numbers, and where the placements of the planets are in the Aquarius chart, according to my notes. Now, from the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck, I pulled for you the very same Oracle card that fell for Pisces. I really suggest you go watch the Pisces video because I think that there is some messages in there for you as well. And it could be that many of you Aquarians are dealing with issues with Pisces or just really dealing with the issue where Pisces will be hosting Venus in retrograde. It all really depends. We are all very different, but we are all still yet very much the same. I know, it's quite a paradox. So, the 13th card. This is the Tiger Spirit Rises. This deals with Archangel Adnichil, and Tiger's Eye. This is also a Crystal Angel 444 card. The 444 message in vibratory language basically indicates that the angels have your back. It also indicates that this is a time for stability, grounding, earthly reality, and building strong foundations for your spiritual growth. Understand that as your tiger spirit rises, you will invoke and inspire the tiger spirit and others around you to rise above the conditioning that they are shedding as well, as they discover their truest self in divine timing. I also think that looking up tiger spirit totem animal or tiger spirit symbology would probably have some pretty nice resonant messages for you there as well. Understand that it takes courage to shed your conditioning, and that this is usually one layer at a time. And when you're doing this, you're being asked to trust in a version of yourself that you don't know yet, that you don't fully recognize or understand. Give yourself permission to realize that you are a spiritual being and that you are being empowered with a truth that is more potent and powerful than fear. Understand that your spirit being is expanding rapidly beyond what opinion and logic can contain and understand. As you rise, you inspire those around you to rise as well. 1 + 3 is 4, and that speaks to the Cancerian ruled house of your home and family, or roots and foundations. I've talked about that a lot, but home is where you live and where you consider home to be. Family is who you share that home with. That can be your parents, your partner, your spouse, fur babies, children, house guests, housemates, roommates. For you, for your individual roots and foundations, it can be your teeth, your bones, or your tightly held beliefs, philosophies, and even religious predispositions. For the external roots and foundations, that can be to your home. That would be the foundation, or the studs, or the plumbing, or even the electrical wiring of your home, but also the roots to the trees and the flora around your house as well. So, Aquarius, that was a lot to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I do hope that you're well. I'm sending you lots of love. Please take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself and save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. Remember, Venus is going retrograde through your communication house. You may be reflecting on past communication. Past communication may be coming to light as well. Check out your Venus retrograde video if you haven't yet. And I will see you for the April videos, but I have 10 more videos to get done first. So send me some good luck in that as well. I hope you're well, Aquarius. Please take care of yourself. Please be kind to others. I will see you soon. But until then, namaste, bye, and I love y'all. Take care.